Welcome to Books and Brews, Tales from the Frozen Tundra, where Packers stories are poured one pint at a time.
Oh, nicely done.
Thanks. Thanks, I've been practicing that one. But yeah, it is Monday, June 15th, 2026, and we are actually sitting outside today.
We are right outside Dricky Studios here in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Yeah, and honestly, the weather is just, it's putting on an absolute show for us today.
Oh, it really is. It's the kind of morning that, it reminds you why summer in Green Bay is, well, it's like a well-earned reward after the long freeze.
Exactly. I mean, we got these nice cloudy skies. It's sitting right around, what, 61 degrees right now?
Yeah, right around there.
And there's this really light, kind of crisp Wisconsin breeze just cutting through the air. It's perfect.
It is perfect. Though, even in mid-June, that breeze kind of carries this tiny, almost imperceptible reminder that
football is coming.
right, football season is quietly sneaking up on us.
It's always in the back of your mind, right? Like, we're currently in that weird, quiet stretch of the football calendar, that sort of liminal space.
The dead zone.
Yeah, the dead zone. Because mandatory minicamp has officially wrapped up.
Right.
Which means the veterans have basically been dismissed. They're out until training camp actually begins on July 29th.
Yep, they get a little breather.
But the rookies, they do start their final OTA week tomorrow. And I know we've got some guys like Yeager Burton, Chris McClellan, and Trey Smack getting some really intense additional evaluation opportunities right now.
Which is so crucial at this stage.
Yeah.
Because, the margins for making this roster are just razor thin.
Oh, totally.
But honestly, if we're looking at the biggest storyline coming out of minicamp,
right,
it's undeniably been the defense.
Right.
They are just surging under Jonathan Gannon right now. The intensity, the sheer violence of that defensive front is visibly different from what we've seen before.
Yeah, you can really feel the shift in energy.
Absolutely. And it's really being spearheaded by Adrian Cooper.
Oh, man, Cooper looks incredible.
Right. He looks like a man who is completely determined to just become one of the absolute best linebackers in the league. Like, you can literally see the ambition radiating off of him in every single drill.
It's wild to watch. But while the players rest up and, prepare for the grueling heat of July, we're taking this opportunity to sort of shift gears.
Yeah, looking at the other half of the Lambeau equation.
Exactly. So today's deep dive is episode 2 of our current series, which we're calling The Voices Behind the G.
Love that title.
Right. So we are moving away from the athletes on the grass, and we're focusing entirely on the people who capture, communicate, and document the culture of Green Bay fandom.
And we should mention, the foundation for this entire exploration is the Tales from the Frozen Tundra Kickstarter campaign.
Yes, created by Dr. Denni Towle.
Right. And it's this massive, incredibly detailed, it's over 400 pages book that's dedicated entirely to preserving the human side of Packers fan history.
But before we even get into the individuals featured in all this source material, we really need to establish the stakes here for you listening.
Yeah, the stakes are very real.
Because Kickstarter is an all-or-nothing platform. This specific project has a $3,000 goal.
Which isn't huge, but it's essential.
Exactly. If it hits that goal, this vital piece of cultural history gets fully funded, it's printed, and it's preserved forever.
Oh.
But if it falls short by even a single dollar, nobody is charged. Nobody pays anything. And unfortunately, these incredible, deeply human stories receive zero funding, and they just remain untold.
Which means the physical preservation of this culture literally depends on the community stepping up.
It totally does.
Yeah.
So we're going to give you a taste of why these stories are so essential. And let's transition from the modern gridiron to the digital landscape, starting with Aaron Nagler.
A true pioneer in that space.
Definitely. But first, to get us in the right mindset, I'm pouring our first pairing of the day.
Oh, nice. What do we have?
This is a Carry the G cold brew.
Oh, that is a perfect starting point.
Right. Just look at that pour.
And what's really fascinating about that specific coffee is how it naturally connects to the Carry the G cream ale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is the official beer of Cheesehead TV.
Oh.
It was actually created by Aaron Nagler and Corey Banke in collaboration with a local brewery.
That's right.
And it's just this perfect microcosm of Wisconsin culture. You have independent media, community storytelling, and local craft beer all just intersecting around a football team.
It's so Wisconsin it hurts. But I want to stop you right there for a second, though, because when we say independent media, it sounds so polished now.
Oh, sure. Very professional.
Right. Like, we think of sleek websites, studio cameras, official press passes. But in the early
It
2000s,
was the Wild West.
completely, that meant clunky HTML, dial-up connections, and essentially just shouting into a digital void. So how did Aaron actually build this? Because the source material notes he started in Appleton, Wisconsin, but the real catalyst was moving to Chicago.
Yeah, that's exactly the friction point for his whole story. Because Aaron's early fandom was incredibly traditional.
Like most of us.
Right. He was shepherded by his dad and his grandparents in Appleton. He has this really vivid memory of sitting cross-legged on the floor, right in front of his dad's chair, completely mesmerized by the local CBF pregame show.
No, I can picture that perfectly.
Yeah, it was a very localized physical experience. But when he moved to Chicago for work, the whole paradigm shifted. He suddenly realized that the Packers weren't just this geographical allegiance, they were and he calls it a portable homeland.
A portable homeland. Wow. That is a brilliant way to phrase it.
Isn't it?
It really is. It's that shared language you instantly speak with a stranger when you see, like, the G on their hat in an airport across the world.
Exactly. You don't have to explain yourself, you just nod.
Yeah, you just know.
Right. And in the early internet era, finding that shared language was much, much harder.
Oh, for sure. No social media algorithms feeding you content.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, Aaron actually went to school for theater, right? So he learned how to hold a stage and connect with an audience on a really deep emotional level.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So years later, sitting in Chicago, missing that connection, he and Corey Banke started this scrappy little audio show called Packer Transplants.
I remember that name.
Yeah. And the initial goal wasn't to build some massive empire. It was honestly just to keep their friendship alive through a shared passion for football.
See, that's the part that really fascinates me. Starting an independent fan site in those days must have felt like, well, it's like dragging a lone grill out into an empty freezing parking lot at 4 a.m.
Yes.
Like, you don't know if anyone is going to show up. You're just putting out content, checking your server logs, and wondering if anyone out there even cares.
Yeah, just waiting in the cold.
But through sheer consistency, they built a massive digital tailgate. So how did they bridge that gap? Going from passionate fans with microphones to actual credentialed professionals.
By understanding the underlying mechanics of community. You know, the hardest part of building that digital tailgate was the relentless grind. I mean, Aaron was balancing a highly demanding corporate career, pulling absurd hours, all while trying to provide daily high-quality Packers coverage.
That sounds exhausting.
It was. But the critical hurdle he had to clear, the thing that really separates a fan blog from a credentialed media outlet, was navigating the emotional line.
What do you mean?
Well, as a fan, you want to scream at the television, right? You want to vent. But as a professional in the press box, you have to analytically explain why a play failed. And you have to do that without losing the passion that made your audience trust you in the first place.
Oh, that makes sense.
He proved that independent media could be analytically serious without losing its soul.
It's an incredible tightrope walk, really. You have to maintain your credibility with the coaches and the players while still maintaining your authenticity with the guy drinking a beer in lot 1.
Precisely. And Aaron's core philosophy for doing that really boils down to one word, and that word is kinship.
Kinship.
Yeah. He views his role not just as a reporter, but as a facilitator of kinship. There are some incredibly moving moments detailed in his chapter of the book.
Which we won't fully spoil here.
We won't spoil them.
Yeah.
But there's this one profound realization he had at a Cheesehead TV meetup in London, surrounded by thousands of international fans. It's just incredible. Aaron essentially utilized the internet to build a global diaspora of Packers fans.
Man, that is powerful. Well, on that note, we'll be right back after these messages.
Stick around.
In a city where winter has teeth, where parking lots become neighborhoods, and where strangers become family, one book preserves the stories behind the fans. Tales from the Frozen Tundra. Superfans of Titletown features 21 legendary superfans, original interviews, stunning photography, and over 400 pages dedicated to capturing the heart of Green Bay. Back the campaign today and help preserve Packers fan culture forever. And welcome back to Books and Brews.
So we just spent some time unpacking how Aaron Nagler utilized digital technology to build this expansive, invisible language that connects fans globally.
Right.
But if we want to talk about the physical space of Lambeau Field,
Yeah.
we really have to look at how Jeff Padon gave Packers culture a powerful, highly visible language right inside the stadium walls.
Ooh, yes. And this is a perfect time to introduce our second pairing.
I am ready.
All right, I am pouring the silent signal tea.
That smells amazing.
It's so good. It's a beautifully warm green tea steeped with honey and lemon. It is absolutely perfect for soothing the throat and just warming up your hands on a crisp Green Bay morning like today.
Oh, I'm definitely enjoying this.
So I went through the source material on Jeff Padon, who's known as the ASL Cheesehead.
Yep, the ASL Cheesehead.
And he inherited his fandom from his deaf father back in 1971. But there's a massive gap in the timeline here that I noticed. He waited 23 years on the season ticket waiting list.
23 years.
Yeah. Like, why did it take him so long to visually integrate his deaf heritage into his game day gear once he finally got in?
Well, to understand that 23-year wait and the real gravity of his game day attire, you have to understand the historical trauma of the deaf community.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, this actually requires looking back to the 1930s. Jeff's father attended a school for the deaf in Madison, Wisconsin. And at that time, educational institutions operated under this strict philosophy known as oralism.
Oralism.
Right. Deaf children were forcefully taught to lip read and mimic speech, and sign language was strictly forbidden.
Wait, forbidden.
Completely.
Yeah.
It was viewed as a lesser form of communication. Jeff's father's hands were literally slapped with a ruler by teachers if he was caught trying to sign.
Oh my God, that is horrific. The idea of punishing a child for using their natural method of communication, I mean, it makes the simple act of using sign language later in life incredibly defiant.
Exactly. It transformed sign language from mere communication into a profound act of resistance and heritage.
I never thought about it like that.
So, fast forward decades later. Jeff spends 23 years on the waiting list. When he finally gets his season tickets, he starts observing the culture around him at the games.
Just taking it all in.
Right. He meets another superfan, Steve Tate, and he realizes that game day attire isn't just about showing team colors. It is a billboard for your identity.
Ah, okay.
So Jeff and his wife, Lori, collaborated to create a custom jersey and a modified Cheesehead wedge. They took laminated cards demonstrating American Sign Language, specifically spelling out Green Bay Packers, and permanently attached them to his gear.
That is so cool. And I love the paradox of this, too.
We.
Well, when we think of Lambeau Field, we instantly think of the noise, right?
Oh, yeah. It's deafening.
Exactly. It is entirely defined by overwhelming sound. The roar of 80,000 people, the chants echoing off the concrete, just sheer sensory overload. And Jeff took an environment built entirely on sound and conquered it with silence.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
By placing ASL right on his head, he made visual communication impossible to ignore in a sea of noise.
And that visual communication created a completely different dynamic in the parking lot, too.
Yeah.
He transformed from just, a guy wearing a unique hat into a mobile educational beacon.
Really? Like, people would ask him about it.
All the time. He would walk through the tailgates, and hearing fans who were naturally curious would ask what the hands on his cheesehead meant. And those passing interactions turned into spontaneous ASL lessons.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah. Suddenly you have hearing fans in the middle of a tailgate learning how to sign. He even filmed a viral video where another fan enthusiastically taught him how to sign "Bears Suck" in ASL.
Okay, that is exactly the kind of grassroots rivalry content that makes sports beautiful.
Right.
But the logistics of that, like teaching people a new language in a freezing, chaotic parking lot, it shows an immense amount of patience and a real desire to connect.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
It proves that the culture of Lambeau speaks every language, even the silent ones. Jeff created a beacon for deaf fans in a massive, chaotic crowd. If you are a deaf fan and you see that cheesehead, you instantly know you belong.
That feeling of belonging is huge.
It is. He eventually went on to host a Deaf Packers Festival. And the book goes into some incredibly moving, intimate family stories about unexpected reunions and moments of deep systemic inclusion that we obviously won't give away here.
Right, you got to read the book for those.
Exactly. But his story completely redefines what it means to be a superfan. It isn't just about how loud you can yell. It's about who you invite into the circle.
Wow. That's really profound. Well, let's take a quick sponsor break before we move on to our final subject.
Sounds good.
The Tales from the Frozen Tundra Kickstarter offers reward tiers for every type of fan. If you want the core story, you can grab the digital edition for $19. For physical collectors, the signed paperback is $39, and the signed hardcover is $49 history. But if you want your name permanently cemented in fan history, you really have to look at the Cheesehead supporter tiers. At $107 for paperback or $127 for hardcover, you receive permanent printed recognition right inside the book. Head over to Kickstarter and secure your copy today. And welcome back to the deep dive.
All right, let's get back into it.
So, we have explored the mechanics of digital community building and the profound impact of visible, silent language. But it makes me wonder who is actually capturing the visual memory of all this.
Right, because while fans are out there making these memories, constructing these elaborate tailgates, and forging these connections, it requires a dedicated documentarian to make sure those moments aren't lost to time.
Exactly. And to set the mood for game day documentation, I am cracking open a Johnny Blood Red Ale from Titletown Brewing.
Oh, a classic.
Yeah, there's nothing like a local red ale to get you in that festive, celebratory mindset.
And when we talk about a festive mindset, the absolute embodiment of that is Camden Lorentz.
Pac-Man Cam.
Yes, widely known throughout the fan base as Pac-Man Cam. If you've been to a game recently, or even just scrolled through Packers' social media, you have likely seen him.
Oh, he's impossible to miss.
Truly impossible. His visual trademark is this wild, loudly patterned, Hawaiian-inspired green and gold outfit, complete with all the matching accessories.
Which is just seeing a tropical Hawaiian shoot in the middle of a brutal Wisconsin winter is an amazing visual.
It really is.
But I read the source material, and the origin of this outfit actually threw me. Like, it wasn't born out of a desire for internet fame or anything like that.
No, not at all. It started from a deeply personal place. It was actually inspired by his son, Tristan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Tristan went through this phase where he wanted to wear Hawaiian shirts almost every single day.
That's hilarious. Kids are so funny with their phases.
Right. And so when football season rolled around, he naturally wanted a Packers-themed Hawaiian shirt.
Of course he did.
So Camden hunted one down for him, and then he found matching shorts. And then, leaning into the whole dad joke energy of it all, Camden decided to go all out with matching accessories for himself, too.
That is amazing.
It started purely as a way to bond with his son and make him smile. But over time, the outfit evolved. It turned Camden into this joy creator and eventually a modern documentarian of Packers culture through photography and social media.
But here's what I don't understand about that.
What's that?
Taking on a persona like that, like dressing as loudly as humanly possible and wandering through tens of thousands of hyped-up fans, that usually requires a very specific, super extroverted personality.
Sure, you'd think so.
Yet Camden openly admits in the book to being naturally shy and dealing with significant anxiety in large crowds.
It does.
So, if you have crowd anxiety, the absolute last thing you want is a neon green and gold Hawaiian shirt drawing every single eye to you. Make that make sense.
I know, it sounds totally counterintuitive, but it's a beautiful psychological paradox, and it's specifically rooted in how we control our own narratives.
Okay, go on.
When you're anxious in a crowd, you often feel like people are judging you, and you have no control over what they're thinking.
Right.
But when Camden puts on the Pac-Man Cam outfit, he is utilizing a concept known as enclothed cognition. The costume essentially acts as an armor.
An armor.
Yeah. He knows exactly why people are looking at him, because he looks ridiculous and fun. It removes the anxiety of the unknown. The costume isn't a mask to hide his true self behind. It is a highly visible bridge that invites people to approach him with a smile.
Oh, wow. That makes total sense. He is disarming the crowd before they even speak to him.
Precisely. He views his role in the parking lot as an emotional ambassador. He says that wearing the outfit helps him feel like he finally fits in.
That's a great phrase, emotional ambassador.
Right. He wanders the lots with his camera, engaging with fans, taking photos, and just spreading this relentless, stubborn positivity. His guiding motto is, "Cheeseheads are family."
I love that.
And his role becomes most crucial when the team is losing.
Oh, absolutely. When the atmosphere gets tense, when fans are freezing and frustrated, people can get grumpy.
Yeah. But he's there, keeping the spirits high, reminding everyone that the ultimate goal of being there is to experience joy together.
Because modern fandom can be so intensely toxic sometimes.
It really can.
We live and die by every snap, we argue about salary caps on the internet, and we forget that this is supposed to be fun. Having someone there whose sole purpose is to document the joy is vital. I mean, we all have smartphones, but Camden is actively curating an archive of happiness.
Exactly. He acts as a modern historian. He isn't just taking selfies. He is preserving the pure, unadulterated joy of the parking lot for future generations.
Yeah.
The camera in his hand is just as important as the loud Hawaiian shirt on his back.
Well said. All right, one last quick break before we wrap things up.
Take it away.
For the ultimate Green Bay collectors, the Kickstarter campaign features premium reward tiers. The Superfan editions at $74.29 include autographed 8x10s from your favorite featured fan. The Frozen Tundra Man editions at $75 and $100 offer exclusive collector prints. But the absolute crown jewel is the VIP tailgate experience.
Oh, that one is amazing.
It is. Claiming this reward grants you access to an exclusive Lot 1 tailgate before a Packers versus Bears game. Remember, this is all or nothing funding, so please back the campaign today on Kickstarter. And we're back for our final thoughts.
All right, so if we pull back and look at the broader tapestry of today's deep dive, Aaron Nagler, Jeff Padon, and Camden Lorentz all tell the overarching story of the Green Bay Packers, but they do it through entirely distinct, really necessary mechanisms.
Yeah, very different approaches.
Aaron used the grind of early modern media to connect a global diaspora, ensuring the conversation never stops, regardless of geography.
Right.
Jeff leveraged ASL to conquer the noise, creating incredible visibility and proving that fandom fiercely belongs to marginalized communities just as much as anyone else.
Absolutely.
And Camden uses photography, social media, and radical joy to document the emotional high points of the modern fan experience.
They are basically the architects keeping the culture alive outside the stadium walls. And this brings us back to our main mission today, the Kickstarter. We really cannot stress enough the mechanics of this platform.
It's so important.
This is an all-or-nothing funding campaign. If Dr. Denni Towle's project doesn't meet its $3,000 goal, these incredible stories, the ones we literally just skimmed the absolute surface of today, will not be physically printed or preserved. You have to go support the campaign to unlock the full, deeply emotional narratives hidden inside those 400 pages.
Because scrolling through a digital summary is one thing, but holding that physical history in your hands, preserving it on your bookshelf, is entirely different.
It really is. I mean, you can practically smell the charcoal and the brats sizzling on the grill just talking about it.
Oh, you really can. And, that physical parking lot culture, the sensory experience of it all, is exactly where we are heading next.
That's right. In episode 3 of the series, we are going to meet the actual engineers of the physical parking lot culture. We are talking about Christopher Handler, the original Packer fence painter, Steve Tate, the owner, and Scott Schwartz, the mayor of Lot 1.
Oh, that's going to be a fun one.
We're going to break down how they claim and build these physical spaces. You will not want to miss it.
It is going to be a fascinating look at the territorial communal spaces of fandom. But as we wrap up today's deep dive, I want to leave you with a final thought.
Let's hear it.
We've examined how these three men use digital media, sign language, and photography to document and pass down the culture of Titletown. It makes you look inward and wonder. Long after the players leave the field and the stadium empties out, what is the specific tradition, the specific story that you are actively preserving for the next generation of fans?